Welcome to Silence Screams Loud Strength, the podcast. Today we are talking about dealing with a narcissist, the power of silence, boundaries, and walking away. This is very powerful topic. Sometimes calm, steady like wind and ocean like, state of mind is the best way to be. I'm your host, Samantha, and welcome to this powerful, I can't even begin to talk about it, where truth meets, tenderness, and healing becomes an act of courage. This is what Silence Screams Loud Strength stands for. So today's episode is not only very close to my heart. Dealing with a narcissist is something that is challenging, to say the least. The narcissist, the power of silence, boundaries, and walking away. Those are the three important factors to stop feeding. If you've ever felt drained, manipulated, trapped in a web of someone's chaos, this conversation is for you. Because sometimes the greatest act of strength isn't fighting back. It's refusing to play the game. Refusing to play the game at all. Not engaging, not feeding. Dealing with a narcissist can feel like navigating a storm without a compass. Their constant need for control, for attention, and validation can leave you drained, even the strongest person, questioning their sanity and questioning themselves. They twist things, they twist the truth, they confuse you, they bait you into your own reactions, and they feed off your chaos. They feed off that chaos, they love it. They create chaos, and because you don't have the tools, you become chaotic and toxic yourself too. But here is what I have, I want you to know. These are profound lessons, okay, hidden in that chaos. A lesson about your own power. Silence is strength, people. Silence speaks volumes when you're dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist thrives on reaction. They want your emotional energy. They want you explaining, defending, and proving. Because every time you do that, you feed their illusion of control. So silence then becomes your secret. It's not weakness. It's not giving up either. It's you saying, no, I no longer want you to have access to my energy. And when you stop reacting, when you hold your own words, sometimes that shifts. It actually shifts the storm that still swells, but you are no longer in it. You start watching from, the shores instead of drowning in the waves. Your silence says, my peace is more important than your validation, and that's power. There is something deeply liberating about realizing You don't have to explain your truth to someone. Someone who's continued and is committed to misunderstanding you deliberately. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to argue your point of worth with them. You just need to remember your calm is yours to keep. Your peace is yours to create. Boundaries are non-negotiable. Boundaries are your lifeline when you're dealing with a narcissist. They are not walls, they are clarity. They define where you end and where someone else begins. When dealing with a narcissist, boundaries are your anchor that keeps you grounded and sane when they try to pull you into their emotional chaos. Boundaries are your lifeline. Say no without guilt, without conversation, without explaining when everything turns to toxic. Decide how much access you give someone. You need to actually learn their trick and say, have you earned my energy and my heart? And when you are being pulled. Remember, you don't need to explain your boundaries to the person who keeps, crossing you and crossing and crossing. They don't deserve your energy. Setting boundaries is not about changing them. It's about your protection and protecting your energy. It's about saving your peace. For me, it's saving my peace. That matters the most. You don't need approval from a narcissist. And yes, they may push back. They might call you cold. They might call you distant. They might call you selfish. But that's just because your boundaries expose their lack of control over you. So hold firm. Hold on to your boundaries. Hold on to your self-love. Love yourself in action. Walk away without explanation. Sometimes that's the bravest thing you can ever do. Walking away quietly, completely, without having without the long goodbye, without the explanation, because they'll twist it anyway. So why do you need to waste your energy? You don't owe a narcissist closure because they will never have closure with you. They just want another chance, and they keep opening for manipulation. You can't give them access. When you walk away, you are not being cruel. You're being kind to yourself. You're choosing your peace, and that choice is what will keep you sane. That choice will stop the ache and becomes your liberation. And when you reply to their emails, it needs to be short, to the point. That's it. You don't have to prove your pain to them. You don't have to justify your living. You don't have to make them understand. Your silence speaks louder than any justification ever could. It saves you, and it says your toxicity no longer belongs in my life. It says I am done explaining myself to you. My boundaries are mine to keep, and they are benefits for yourself, and no one can cross them. And in that stillness, you reclaim yourself, your power, your self-worth, your growth, your health, and your peace. Your peace is priceless. At the heart of it all is the truth. Your peace is not up for negotiation. When you have lived through chaos, peace is the most unnatural at first. Quiet feels strange. Calm feels suspicious. But soon you realize that peace isn't boring, it's freedom. And when you have dealt with a narcissist, you learn that peace is the most valuable commodity that you will ever own. Because their chaos no longer deserves your energy, your tears, your time. So choosing silence is enforcing your boundaries, walking away without explanation. It's reclaiming your own self-worth. These aren't just survival strategies. They are declarations of self-worth, self-love, empowerment. They say, I am done performing for your approval. I am done being the mirror for your ego. I am done letting your chaos define my peace. They simply say, there is no more. We are done. Healing from a narcissist entanglement is just about surviving what has happened. It's about thriving beyond it. It's about rediscovering the stillness that was always inside of you. The strength that was never gone. It was just buried under the noise. So each act of silence, each boundary you set, each quiet step away is yours and is coming home to yourself. It's allowing and giving yourself permission to coming back to yourself, reclaiming what was buried before the narcissist took over. So if you are in that space now, remember, you are allowed to protect your peace, your home. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to set boundaries without explanation. You are allowed not to give them access. Your peace is your birthright. Your peace is there to be protected fiercely. You have been listening to Silence Screams Loud Strength, the podcast. And this episode is so important. And if it has resonated with you, please Share it with someone that needs to hear it. And take a moment to reflect and remember, silence is not emptiness, it's power. Silence is not emptiness at all. It's your power. Reclaim it. And again, stay strong. Until next time, stay grounded, stay strong. Always choose your peace, as peace is yours and it's your birthright. Namaste.